Hey guys, this is the DJ Vinyl Vertigo, catching up on my video making and just putting some content out there. I was thinking about this band. I had seen a little video clip of this band on Don Kirshner's rock concert, I guess it's called, that series that was out in the 70s. Around 1974, there was a band that performed in these crazy outfits, and they were like contemporaries of groups like Earth, Wind, and Fire, and the Bar-Kays, and Kool and the Gang, and Parliament Funkadelic, all that, Sly and the Family Stone. But to me, they were a little bit more of a soul band. They were a funk band, but they were more of a soul band as far as I was concerned. The lead vocalist made me think of Bobby Womack a lot, and it's a group called New Birth, the New Birth. And when I was a little kid, my brother and his girlfriend, who was not his wife, they used to bring these records over and play them while they had their friends over. And they would play cards and hang out and drink beer and just hang out in the living room and put out the card table and play spades and stuff like that. And instead of going out, they would just do that kind of thing. And they would play these records that I really, really liked. And I was a little kid, so I would just kind of looked up to them as older people, and just like they were older teenagers, basically, young adults, but I always looked up to them like, oh, and I'll be like that eventually. I'll be able to play records and play spades and have a girlfriend and drink beer and all that stuff. Anyway, so they played this one particular group that they played a lot of. Was called the New Birth. They were originally called the Night Lighters, and I have this record called Morning, Noon, and the Night Lighters, the band that plays funk and roll. And they're known for a song called KG. I think KG actually is on the Saturday Night Fever record. I believe it is on that. I don't think it's them doing it, it's somebody else doing it. I think MFSB was doing it. They did that song, KG. I think it's on Saturday Night Live, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, this group was definitely a powerhouse group. They were originally put together by the producer Harvey Fuqua and this guy by the name of Tony Churchill, yeah. And the lead vocalists were Leslie and Melvin Wilson. Leslie Wilson was the hardcore Bobby Womack style singer, and Melvin was more of a smooth singer. And then they had a female vocalist who came from the Marvelettes, I believe, and she had a really high-pitched voice, almost like Minnie Riperton. And they all traded off different songs, hard hitting soul ballads, soul beats that were very funky and very funk like. And then they did these incredibly long, incredibly passionate ballads that were just like, oh, they wrenched your heart because they were so good. But it's a band that I think people should be aware of. I don't think a lot of people either think of them these days or remember them. I mean, everybody knows Earth, Wind, and Fire. Everybody knows, Sly and the Family Stone, Kool and the Gang. People are starting to get into the Bar-Kays. They know Funkadelic and Punk and Parliament, of course. Cameo, which is a little bit more contemporary. But I don't think a lot of people remember. And there's other groups like this, but in particular, Brass Construction is another group that people know. Confunction, But you don't hear much talk about, at least I don't. And they know The Slave is another group that people know. But you don't hear a lot about New Birth. So you're going to hear now. I'm going to show you some records. Ones that I'm really familiar with. And then the two that I'm truly familiar with. And then throw you some other ones. This record, Blind Baby. It's a fantastic record. I found this pretty cheap. It starts out with an instrumental called Blind Baby. It has incredible baritone sax solo on there throughout the whole song. It's basically the saxophone singing. And all you hear is somebody saying, Blind Baby, and it's a ballad, and it's a real. The saxophone just makes you think of like I Quebec or something like that, but it's just really, oh, it's very sexy, and it's Blind Baby. It's not really a sexy song, but it just gives that. It just has this aura about it. And then they have this ballad that is just so heart wrenching called Dream Merchant, which is sung by Leslie Wilson, who has this really gruff, higher. He's got a he's kind. I think he's a tenor. He's not a first tenor, but he's a tenor. But his voice is kind of scratchy. But he just has a good command of his voice. Just a real masculine heart. You know, like you're really good. Like Bobby Womack. You know what I mean? Really good. He sings beautifully on that. Granddaddy's another one. Very funky song. My granddaddy was a hellified man. Yeah. And then they have a song called Blind Man later on. And then, of course, a female vocalist sings Why Did I? I don't remember her name. And I don't think they have her name here. But I believe she's from the Marvelettes. But this was on Buddha Records, which has a lot of really great soul bands and rock bands and stuff back in the day. This was from 1975. And if you ever see this, pick it up. It is a great, and I love the illustration. You know, the artwork is really great. Blind Baby. And this record had some, I don't know what song, but it says whoever was selling this put a little sticker thing that that this band's music on this record was sampled by the hip hop artist by the name of Atmosphere. So they have been sampled quite a bit, and they do a lot of covers, but they funkified them. So, and I'll hit you up with that in a minute. There's another record called Birthday. Love that with the black eggs there. Birthday, New Birth. This is on Fuqua as well. No, this one's on Dynaflex, but I believe originally it was on Fuqua. This has the song written, and it was a hit for Bobby Womack called I Can Understand It. That was also a hit for Kokomo. Kokomo did a slowed down, really cool version of I Can Understand It. But they did a really funky, almost James Brown style song called I Can Understand It, style version of that. They also do Until It's Time for You to Get to Go, which is a standard ballad. They do a theme from Buck and the Preacher. They do Stop, Look, Listen to Your Heart. You know that song. But also, they have this song that you cannot play on the radio. If you remember Love to Love You Baby by Donna Summer, and the record Come by Prince. Okay, well, Got to Get a Nut. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but that means I need to get some sex. Got to Get a Nut. And it's kind of a funny, funky, it's almost like George Clinton kind of joined them for a minute, because it has that kind of Parliament Funkadelic kind of sound to it. And they do a lot of like jokes in between like they have some pauses where they talk and do these characters and stuff. But there's a certain part of the song for a full minute of the song, and it's like a break section where it's just saxophone, and it kind of slows down a little bit, and you hear a woman having an orgasm for like a full minute. And it was really popular. It was really popular, but it wasn't on the radio, of course. You couldn't play it on the radio because it was way too suggestive. But a lot of people used to play that just for that song. They used to play this record just for that song, Got to Get a Nut. And I wish I could play that on my radio show because it was such a good record, but no, I'll get in trouble with the FCC. It's too suggestive. Got to Get a Nut. Yeah. New Birth. Now they have some other records. I was mostly those two records were the ones that I really used to listen to a lot. This one's called Behold the Mighty Army. This is on Warner Brothers, I believe. Yeah. And this is typical of a lot of funk bands with lots of people on the cover and that kind of thing. These kind of themed things. Let's see, what song's on here? Your Love is a really good pet ballad. How Will I Live? The Mighty Army is real funky. It opens up with The Mighty Army. I don't know this record as much, but I know the ballads on here are really, really good. I listened to this about a few months ago. It's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, New Birth, you can't go wrong with New Birth. Some of their records sound a little bit more like they were starting to get into disco a little bit, but they never really got into disco, thank goodness. They just kind of stayed in their lane, pretty much. But they did employ a little bit of that 4/4 beat, that kind of thing. This is another record called, this is from 1972. This one's called Coming Together. And Yesterday I Heard the Rain is a great song. I Don't Want to Do Wrong is so good. They do a song called Don't Knock My Love, which was a hit, a minor hit for Dinah Ross and Marvin Gaye when they did that Dinah and Marvin record. Don't Knock My Love. Um, Two Kinds of People, which is really good. Yeah, it's really good stuff. And this is pretty much all arranged and conducted by Harvey Fuqua. And this is a very good record. This one is borderline getting almost to the disco thing, but doesn't quite do it. Thank goodness it still stays in the funk realm. So, yeah. And this one's called Come Together. This is a band that definitely should be a band that people look out for. This is later, I think, 1982. This is going into the 80s. Now, this record I have not listened to, and I do have it, so maybe I should put it in my list of records to listen to. And this is called I'm Back. You know, they kept with the theme with the egg, as the egg is cracking. And this is the band in the 80s. And I can't speak to what this sounds like, but I'm going to just guess that it's kind of 80s sounding, probably. I don't know. But Churchill's still involved with this record, with the horn arrangements and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a listen. I'll talk about it later on. But yeah, this is looking a little bit more pop sounding, pop looking. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. They have another record called Reincarnation, New Birth. And what year is this? This is a promo copy. 1978. The Sunshine Song. You got to be the one for me. I don't know these songs. Yeah, this is another one I have to. Yesterday I Heard the Rain. I know that song. Yeah. So I'm going to check this one out as well. But, you know, I love them so much. Whenever I see the name, I pick it up. This is Reincarnation by New Birth. This record I do know, this last one, called Love Potion. Pretty risque cover, huh? They all are seemingly nude on the cover. And this is all their butts. I'll show it real fast. This has Fallen in Love. We all God's Children. They do The Long and Winding Road by the Beatles on here. A real soulful version of it. I Never Felt This Way Before is a really great song as well. This was 1976. Good year. Good year for funk. The New Birth. If you haven't heard them, if you've passed on their records and when you're flipping through the bins, go through it again and find those records and take them home. Give them a nice home, because the New Birth really need to be loved and coddled and remembered. Really great band. The singing is just so inspiring. If you really like good soul singing, from men and from women, you will fall in love with their records because the singing is definitely on a high level. I mean, this is really good. This is really good soul music. I know I say funk, but they really capture soul very well on their records. And I have a lot of their CDs that um, have a lot of their hits and stuff on CD. But I started picking up this stuff on vinyl, and I'm so happy to find them. And every time I turn around, I find another one. I might find one tomorrow when I go to that record show. There's a record show happening tomorrow in Tampa, Sunday the 18th of May. Yeah, The New Birth, a band to check out. That's what I'm spotlighting today. And like I said, I will be listening to some of these later records that I had not listened to and then was not familiar with. But I'm going with the understanding that most likely I will be liking these records because New Birth never disappointed me. Never disappointed me. Even the songs that were not that great, the musicianship, the singing makes up for everything. I mean, just makes up for it all. Yeah. I mean, these are records that definitely are great for a party. Great for just getting together with friends, and good memories if you listen to funk back in the 70s. So I hope this wasn't too boring, and I hope it was interesting to you. And if you haven't, I hope it gave you an idea of a band to check out, The New Birth, or the Nightlighters. If you find some Nightlighter stuff, pick that up too. They have some records out. So there you go. There you have it. The Funk Corner by DJ Vinyl Vertigo. I'm signing out. I'm going to go listen to some more music, and I'm going to probably do some cleaning while I do so. Take care, guys. Have a great night, and keep listening to great music. That's an order.